This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hi, my name is Igor Kheifets, and this is The List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle.
That's it. I unsubscribe from this podcast. I don't want to hear from you anymore, Igor.
Well, you made the right choice. Have a good day.
End of episode. Drop the mic.
Yeah, that's how you handle an unsubscribe. If somebody wants to leave, if somebody wants to just drop you or whatever, you let them. You never chase an unsubscribe. In fact, here's what I'll tell you about unsubscribes. Unsubscribes are sort of like the boogeyman of email marketing because, everybody's afraid of them. And it's the reason why marketers refuse to mail their list hard. And I talk like I really mean marketers of all kinds. I was doing an affiliate promotion with somebody, a really experienced marketer. He commands gigantic lists. And I love this guy. I genuinely respect him. Okay. And I treat him and I see him as an equal. Because, he makes just as much money as I do. But he refuses to email his list every day and refuses to pitch in every email precisely because of that reason. Because he's afraid of unsubscribes. And I'm telling him, dude, you'd be doubling your income if you emailed every day. But it's impossible to convince him because he's not willing to give it a shot. Now, I'll keep working at it, okay? I'll keep working at it, but that is a big problem. What I see in him is the general issue with the rest of the people trying to make money online. They're afraid to email. They're afraid of the unsubscribes. And that's the wrong thing to do because unsubscribes, in spite of what people think, they're a good thing. They're actually a good thing. First off, it means that you have live people on your list. Like these people actually read the emails and make a decision to stop hearing from you, which means other people read the emails and decide to keep reading, which are the people that are going to become more likely to become customers down the road. Now, you shouldn't be afraid to upset your list. You honestly shouldn't. You shouldn't be afraid of indifference. That's the bad part. That's really the thing that kills your business. It's the indifference. The first list I've built for my blog was about 1,000 people big. And I mailed it maybe once a month, but not even that, I don't think. And when I finally got around to email it, like aggressively, like several days in a row, what I've got was 3 clicks and 5 unsubscribes from 1,000 people. That was all I got. It's like my emails didn't even matter to them. They didn't even acknowledge them. And that's really the worst thing that can happen to you as an email marketer. It's not the unsubscribes. It's the indifference. It's them not hearing your voice at all and not responding to that voice at all. That is the challenging, that is the most dangerous thing of them all for you as an email marketer. So I really want to shift the perception of what unsubscribe rates are. They're not telling you that your list is bad. They're not telling you that you're mailing too often. In fact, there's so many reasons why people unsubscribe. Getting too many emails is down on that list. There's things like forgetting. They may have forgotten about you. It actually happens more often than you think. They may have purchased a solution from somebody else and it's no longer relevant. There's a bunch of reasons. Okay, and you should Google that. Just go in and find 10 reasons why, just type in 10 reasons why people unsubscribe and you'll find a study by MailChimp and it will show you. But getting too many emails, while it may be one of the reasons, it's only 1 out of 10 reasons why people leave your list. Now, to me, okay, unsubscribes are a good thing because for every hater on my list, there's a convert. And anytime I push a non-believer off the wagon, I win a new customer or even more than one. Now, how do I treat unsubscribes? You may be wondering, what does the unsubscribe spike mean to me? It means that I pushed on the right buttons because for me, and I don't know what it is for you, Jonathan, or for anybody else, but for me, the emails that get the most unsubscribes usually get the most opens and the most clicks and deliver the most cash flow, the most sales for me. So even though I'm alienating more people, it means I'm selling to more people as well. Unsubscribers remind me of this belief system regarding refund rates. I think there's a rule that says unless you're getting a 20% refund rate, you're not selling hard enough. Because there's always the argument like, am I pushing hard enough? Is there room for more? And so unsubscribes are the same way. I'm not saying you should be getting a 50% unsubscribe rate anytime you email, not at all. You've definitely got a problem if that happens, but I've never seen it happen. But unless you're getting unsubscribes every single time you email, you're not emailing hard enough, or whatever you're mailing is not controversial enough to make people care. Now, does it mean that you should deliberately try and alienate some people on your list? That you intentionally get them to unsubscribe? That you intentionally push them off? Sort of. I mean, I'm fine with unsubscribes, and if I see the opportunity, like if I recognize a group of people that I don't want to have on my list, I will write an email that's strategically mean to them to push them off, like I've done with this one group of people that were following this guru that I had a fallout with. So he sent about 400 people my way, and I knew they were reading my emails, and they were the most difficult people to deal with. They had the highest refund rates. They were actually submitting ridiculous complaints, and they were never buying more than 200 clicks. So that's like the worst customer I can think of. So what I've done is I sent out a series of 3 emails where I was strategically making fun of them. The unsubscribe rate was ridiculous, but guess what that has done for me? The people who did not fit into that group, they were cheering. I mean, that was the most incredible thing that happened for them, because they've seen me get into this fight with the people who were so different to them, which meant to them that they were the right type of people to stay. So very quickly, they identified themselves as allies with me, and guess what that done to my sales? My sales went up.
Igor, I have to push back here because I think it's easy for you to say, don't worry about the unsubscribes and you'll get more sales, because you've got leads coming in every single day by the hundreds, by the thousands, but maybe the list builders don't have that. Should they be worried about those unsubscribes if they've only got a list of 100, 500, 1,000 people?
Well, that is a great question. I mean, at 10 people unsubscribing from your list, when your list is only 100 people big, of course that hurts more than if you said 1,000 or 10,000 people. But no, they shouldn't care. Like, if you email your list and 10% of the people on it unsubscribed, it probably means that you're not getting the leads in the right sources, or you're not framing them correctly. I'm not saying you should tell people that they could make money for free without spending money and then emailing them something, making them, buy a course or whatever, and create this disconnect. That's not the right way to market. Well, what I mean is you continuously frame your marketing a certain way to drive everybody else off. Now, to better explain this, think about it this way. Conversion, right? We use it as a marketing term, right? Conversion to us is somebody who converts from prospect to buyer, from cold visitor to an opt-in. That's what conversion means to us. But in the dictionary, if you look it up, conversion is a religious term. It's not a marketing term. It's a term that refers to one's religion. To convert a prospect into a believer, you clearly must draw a line between who you can and who you can't help. And then you have to make them choose who they are and which group they subscribe to, right? This means that you have to present them with an opportunity to choose exile. And that's okay, because then you focus on your backers. They're going to become the backbone of your tribe, and that tribe is what's going to make you rich.
Yeah. You're going to draw those people in closer. You're going to be the one person that they know they can trust and believe in. I like it.
Yeah, think about it this way. You don't need thousands of people. You only need maybe 50, maybe 100 to make a great living. I mean, I'm pretty sure, Jonathan, that you're making an incredible living and have lots of freedom with less than 50 customers. I mean, if you don't mind revealing that information, how many customers do you serve right now on the same level you serve me?
Not many on the level that we work with you, because I do the co-hosting. But right now we're working on maybe 15, 17 shows, something like that.
See, Just 15 shows, and you get to spend as much time as you want with Dawn, right? You
Mm-hmm.
get to spend time with Cupcake. You just came back from Puerto
Puerto
Rico,
Rico.
right?
Yeah.
So you've been out, you've been having a good time. You do real estate investing, right? You've got the life set. You've got the kind of life people actually dream of with less than 20 customers. Now, what this tells us is that as a marketer, you shouldn't be desperate, believing that you need thousands of them and that you need to be closing each and every one. No, in fact, you should focus more on the kind of people you don't want to clearly outline your ideal customer. By knowing who you don't want to work with, you'll automatically attract the people you want. That is why, I made my sales staff to actually put just as much effort into learning who we don't want as the people we do want. You wouldn't believe the kind of effect it had on our sales department. Like the conversion rates, I mean they didn't double or anything, but they clearly saw, my salespeople clearly saw who they needed to focus on, who was the ideal target market, and who was a waste of time. So much headache just disappeared, went out the window. Sure, we had complaint rates go up because we refused more people. But hey, our profits were good. Our, peace of mind was good. Like we didn't have any headaches. We had less refunds, less trouble. And just so you know, Jonathan, I don't have thousands of customers I'm serving each and every single moment either. My customer count is about 100, maybe 120, right? It's not thousands. People think I'm serving tens of thousands of people at the same time. No, I'm not. Yet, here I am living the kind of life most people can only dream about. So don't be desperate and needy to get customers, and don't be afraid of unsubscribes. That's perfectly fine. Celebrate them, because that means you're doing it right.
I think you made a really interesting point that we need to circle back to, highlight, and you guys need to write down, tattoo on your forehead, put above your desk. So many times when you go into a business setting, when you're starting something new, when you're getting things going, we focus so much on our ideal customer, our avatar, the perfect person to buy our product, yet we spend zero time thinking about who we don't want. And sometimes that's kind of important, knowing who you don't want so that you can polarize them and get them the hell off your list.
Yeah. I mean, think about it as if you were getting married. Like, wouldn't you? I mean, people obviously don't put as much thought into marriage either. But I mean, when I
Yikes.
was, when I was working at the Dead Sea, I was still kind of daydreaming about my perfect life. So I would take a bus. It would take about 40 minutes to do like a circle the town and then go down to the Dead Sea, because it's like 500 meters below sea level. And so I had a lot of time on my hands to listen to audios, to write things down in my journal. And so at the time, I was a great believer in the law of attraction. So what I've done is one day I sat down and decided that for the next 30 days, I'm going to put as much thought into understanding and deciding who my ideal mate was, my ideal partner in life, my ideal girlfriend, my ideal wife. And I sat down and I wrote 100 qualities of the things that I wanted to see in that person and the things that I didn't want to see in that person. Now, of course, I put more emphasis into what I wanted, because the law of attraction, the way it works, the way I was told it works, is that it doesn't recognize the word no or not or any negative prefix, which meant I had to tell the universe, whatever, what I wanted. But it also made me think a lot about what I didn't want. So I wrote all these qualities. For the next 2 weeks, I was just writing them down. And I think it was about a year after I hooked up with Anastasia, we were moving, and I found this notebook. 80 things out of 100 matched.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's
Like
sick.
80 things matched.
Unbelievable, man. Hey, you didn't tell her that, though, right? You didn't tell her that, did you?
I did. I showed her. No, I showed her the list. She was so pleased with it. I mean, she was honestly surprised, and then it really pleased her to see, because I did put a lot of thought into the kind of person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Now, incidentally, most people don't. Most people don't. They just get married the first person they meet sometimes, And does it explain why the divorce rate is kind of high? Well, perhaps. But my point is that if you want to have a thriving and profitable business, you don't need too many customers, and you should get okay with pushing some people back, especially the kind of people that you don't want to work with.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. We're coming to an end here. Any closing thoughts for the list builders?
Yeah, I highly suggest that you just test this out, test this theory out. Go and write an email to your list about something controversial that's related to what you're doing, but something controversial. So like I've mentioned, Miss Gloria Rand, or Mrs., I don't know, in the last episode where I was like selling against her to show you my rules to email marketing, that is controversy. So I want you to go out there and find somebody you don't agree with and speak about, just speak your mind to your list. Just rant about it. Say something controversial. Expect to offend someone and see how much response you get. Sure, you'll get the ones that complain, but you'll get them anyway. But you also get the ones that support you, and that is going to be incredible. Like the one example I can give you, I remember writing a confession email to my list where I was buying a home for my parents. So I bought them an apartment here in my hometown, and I was basically saying how scared I was because I was always afraid to sign the dotted line on the contract. And I went on to bash my friends, acquaintances, who committed to a mortgage soon after getting their first job, and how stupid that was, right? So it's a controversial idea because a lot of people do that. In fact, a lot of people on my list did that. And I got a ton of positive feedback. About half of it was about, encouraging me to sign. It's like, don't worry, I signed a mortgage on my first home, 20 years ago, and it's paid off, and it's awesome, and my family has a home. And the other part of it was people talking about either about how much they regret signing a mortgage, right, because they now have to deal with the debt, or some people actually responded and said that it's I don't understand what I'm talking about because mortgage is good debt because that's what Robert Kiyosaki teaches and stuff like that. So I'm sure you subscribe to that, a school of thought, which I now understand better, much better, since I've got myself educated on that. My point is that I wasn't afraid to express a controversial idea. I knew people will disagree with me, and I was fine with that. And if you want to be a great marketer who makes a great living, you should be fine with that too.
Nice. So another list building lifestyle show is in the can. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back in your earbuds next time.
Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kheifets, and until next time we talk, have a good one.
This is the podcastfactory.com.